right, everybody, Talk of the Town, episode 5. Peyton Moore, not Jalen Lindsay. You knew that already because it says our names literally right below our foreheads. But Peyton Moore, not Jalen Lindsay. Talk of the Town.
You're chopping, bro. What up, my peoples? It's your boy Jalen. Your boy's back. It's Talk of the Town. We got some real hot stuff to talk about. Real controversial things. We got some things we hit on ahead about, and then we got some things we went completely south about. But it's alright. We about to get this money today. Let's get it.
All right, so this is basically just NFL Week 1 Super Wildcard Weekend recap show because we feel like we're going to have plenty to talk about here. We're going to go in order of the games in which they happened. So if you don't remember, check the chapters tab in the description below. You can go right to whatever game you want to listen to, or you could just listen to the whole thing because, I feel like we got some good stuff to say about every game. But we're going to start with the Las Vegas Raiders and Cincinnati Bengals, first game of the weekend. Joey Franchise, man. Joey Franchise. That team looks scary after 2 huge performances to end the regular season. I know the final week they didn't play anybody, but Joey Franchise, 24 for 34, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns. And that's with Joe Mixon barely being able to run the ball, 17 carries and 48 yards. If you remember back to the time these two played in the regular season, Mixon ran the ball 30 times for like 140 yards. He was running all over them. So now Las Vegas kind of shut that down, and Cincinnati still managed to pull it out, 26-19 final. So we will get to the whistle that blew that led to a Cincinnati touchdown. But other than that, Jay, any takeaways from this game?
Nah, I just, Joey Franchise came and showed why he's Joey Franchise. I just love the fact that at each level, he's been doubted in a way, and he just comes out there and plays ball, man. And the thing is, it wasn't even his best passing game either. This man can average about 350 yards. What he had, you said 250 something, 260?
Yeah, 244.
I didn't watch all of the game. I watched majority of the game. I was at work. So either regardless, so I was from the things that I watched, the team, I have faith in that team, low key. They can make some noise the next round, Why not? We need something. I want something different. My friend was just saying, actually, no, I think it was my cousin. He was just saying, imagine we got a Bengals 49ers Super Bowl. But anyways, yeah. A lot of people also saying that the Las Vegas Raiders did not belong in that game. They should have been the what's it called? Having a brain fart.
Chargers.
Yeah. Should have been the Chargers, but I disagree because honestly, I don't disagree. Maybe that game would have been more crazy, a high scoring game because I think the Chargers would have put them on something. But yeah, Derek Carr had 310 yards. Josh Jacobs led in rushing yards too, and Jamar Chase led in receiving yards. So it's goes to show that Derek Carr was passing the ball, showing love to everybody, but maybe defense just couldn't hold down that offense. They were just making plays all day.
I mean, if you go through and you watch a game, it kind of was the game I expected it to be. I was kind of hoping for a shootout, which you look at the score and you think, it was somewhat low scoring, but there wasn't many punts in this game. There was a lot of field goals. So they're getting the ball down. There's a lot of offense. They're moving the ball, but most of the time it ended up just being field goals. I mean, you look at a score like 26-19. It'll take you 20 seconds to even realize how you got to 26-19. So there was definitely a lot of field goals. I think 4 for Las Vegas, if I'm doing the math correctly. But 4 and 4 actually for each team. But Joey Franchise just came through with the touchdowns. One thing I would have liked to see more from Vegas is running that damn ball a little bit more because Jacobs was running wild. I mean, you look at his numbers, 13 for 83, 6.4 a carry.
Good back.
He was getting free. He has become underrated this year from what I've seen. I mean, he was a solid back last year, but this year I feel like he's kind of fallen out of the conversation. But we come to look at Cincinnati, and in the entire league, I don't know if there's a better quarterback, running back, wide receiver trio than Burrow, Mixon, and Jamar Chase.
Oh, no, we've seen that yesterday.
I would love to see Cincinnati make a run. I mean, their fans deserve it. Unproblematic fans, too, actually, if you think about it. This is a good fan base, They don't give people a lot of shit like other fan bases. So I like Cincy, man. But Jalen and I both predicted this game correctly. We both had Cincinnati winning. Our scores were a little bit off, but we did have Cincinnati advancing. I'll check the scores right here. Jalen gave me 27-21, so pretty accurate. And I threw out 31-17. So we were pretty close. You know, we both had Cincinnati. We both had belief in Joy franchise. Like you said, I wouldn't have minded seeing another team in here, but I also am a big Derek Carr guy. I tend to root for people that get counted out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I tend to gravitate towards people like that. And people after Derek Carr's injury were saying he's done. And there's not many leaders better than him in the NFL from what I've seen. So
especially what he's went through this season.
Yeah. All the best. I'm happy for Vegas to get there. Unfortunately, it couldn't do enough, but that team deserves it, man. They went through a lot of shit this year, and had a good run. Surprised a lot of people, actually.
But a lot of people.
I
thought after all that controversy that they were going to just go.
Yeah, I thought there was no chance. But now we do have to talk about that whistle that was very questionable, Jay. We're going to have to talk about that at some point, and now's the time. So as I move your face cam up a little bit in OBS to make sure we're seeing... No, you're good. It's just my angles. But we're going to talk about that call, because what I originally thought was that the referee assumed he stepped out of bounds. But for me, it looked like an illegal forward pass, so I assumed that there was going to be a flag for that, because he was pretty close to the line. However, the whistle was blown before the ball was caught, before the play was over. You catch the ball in the end zone, touchdown, play's over. The ball was still in the air, so regardless of whether or not the DB stopped, the play should be dead.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a rule that if the whistle is blown, the play should stop, and if it was an inadvertent whistle, the down is replayed. I'm not saying they wouldn't have scored again, but if that becomes a field goal instead of a touchdown, it's a totally different football game. And I think it's ridiculous that there was nothing done about that. Like, I feel like the NFL is really trying to sweep this under the rug. And I'm not saying it's a rig job or anything, but that's just a terrible call that changes the outcome of the game.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, I haven't heard anything about that call, or non-call, I guess, but literally a couple words into Google, you could find that if a play is blown dead and it's called an inadvertent whistle, you replay the down, because the whistle was blown before the touchdown. That's like, I would try to compare this to something. Let's say somebody fumbles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the defense picks it up, and the referees blow it dead. But the defense runs it for a touchdown anyway. And then the refs are like, oh yeah, touchdown. Like, nah, it's blown dead already. You can't do that. Like, they totally just made some shit up. Like, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes the refs are just put in those positions where they just got to make those quick decisions, and sometimes those quick decisions aren't the best decisions, you know?
I also find it a little crazy that you can't review that. Like, that is game-changing.
Yeah, that is.
Why not? Why can't you talk to New York and be like, okay, what do we do in this situation? I don't give a damn if the ref doesn't know the rule in that situation. That's a complex thing. I didn't know what they were supposed to do. But, like, if you get on the phone and you're like, yo, what the fuck do we do? They're going to tell you have to replay the down if the whistle was blown before the play ends.
And it's in the rule book, right?
It is.
So you searched it up?
100%.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, bro, they were talking about it as the game continued on. Like,
we're gonna send this in. We're gonna send this in.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something. We might have to throw out one of the P's and get a replay on that game or something. I don't know. Give Derek Carr another shot. I mean, bro, I feel like it's really swept under the rug, and I'm not saying that's the only reason Cincinnati won. I do think they were the better team, and 9 times out of 10, Joe Mixon's not going to run for less than 3 yards a carry. But, I mean, that's huge. It totally changes how the Raiders play the game.
It's the whole touchdown, you know? At that point, they're looking at they're looking at 21-19, right? Yeah, you're looking at 20. Well, 20
it would have been 22, and then the Raiders could have kicked a field goal at the end rather than going for a touchdown. Could have been overtime. I'm not, obviously that's not exactly what would have happened. It's not like the game would have went the same way, but you do that math, it's a 3-point game. When it comes down to it, all they need is a field goal, and they were in field goal range to end the game, were they not? So
they were.
Obviously it's not going to play out exactly like that, but I hate to see a controversy like that for a team like the Bengals, who I think was the better team and will be the better team most of the time they play. But I mean, no, I haven't heard a statement or anything because that's a huge play. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm excited to see Cincinnati play
If we
again,
ain't,
and I'm
if we
glad I
ain't
get to
hear it
see
now,
it.
we ain't gonna hear it. We ain't gonna hear it ever.
Gotcha. All right, we are gonna move on to a game that took place right after, and that's the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. This was shocking, to say the least. Hey Jay, how you do? Oh, okay. We'll give him time.
I thought Mac Jones was gonna get it done. No, they need. Hopefully, they draft some receivers next year because that's honestly what they really need. I'm gonna be honest with you. Their defense is a defense. The defense is great, but I mean, your defense can only do so much. But they gave up 47 points.
I mean, their
But
defense was great all year. I don't know what the hell
Yeah.
happened. I don't know who was showing up. I don't know who was in J.C. Jackson's body, but that was not J.C. Jackson. He's getting burned
So,
every play. Straight up. Put the toaster on max, wait for it to cook, and then pop it back in. And then when it's done, that's what J.C. Jackson did.
Yo, you're clever. Hey, yo. Let's see. Josh Allen, your boy Josh Allen,
Superstar.
Allen, bro. 5 touchdowns, 308 yards, 84% passing completion.
He only
percentage.
threw 4 incomplete passes.
Yeah, he went 21 for 25. We averaged 12 yards a pass, so
Slinging that ball.
slinging that shit. And wait, let me see for rushing yards. And look,
66 rushing yards.
give me a solid 66, 11 yards a carry. That's a first down every time that man breaks out of the pocket right there. Nah, like I wasn't trying to. Oh, we had an interception from Hyde too. We had receiving yards. Dawson Knox, never even heard of him. That man has the shaggiest here.
Balling.
89 receiving yards. You got Devin Singletary with 81 rushing yards. Overall, that team just played great. You know, that team executed on defense. The offense actually
Couldn't even be stopped. They literally were not stopped.
They weren't stopped.
Scored every drive. Touchdown.
Like I said, we got 5 touchdowns with only 25 passing attempts.
Ridiculous.
That doesn't say much.
20% of the time he throws the football.
I'm about to say, every time you throw the football, you're probably scoring a touchdown.
Listen, I will say, I know that Josh Allen's a superstar. And this is the year, I've said it before, where he takes himself out of the Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott area, and he puts himself up there in the Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers level. There's an A tier, and there's a B. Well, there's an S tier, and that's Tom Brady. Let's just get that out of the way. Tom Brady's But then you got the Rodgers, Wilson, Mahomes, and then you got the Dax, Lamars, Burrow, Herbert, Allen. This is Allen's time. There's no better time than this. Your defense is ridiculous. You've clearly figured out how to run the ball with Devin Singletary over the last couple weeks. Now's the time for Josh Allen. And with confidence like that, after beating the Patriots, you got a revenge game coming up against Kansas City. I'd look out if I'm Kansas City. I'm a little nervous. I do wanna circle back to New England. We have given Mac Jones a lot of praise on this show. We did a couple episodes ago where we were talking about Mac Jones, but I don't want people to be like expecting Mac Jones to put up a crazy performance and just carry the team to a win. Obviously, the defense was just getting shredded, but Mac Jones had a poor performance. But I'm not gonna say I'm surprised. If you follow me on Twitter, Mac Jones has been mediocre at best for like 6 weeks straight. If you go back to the game where he threw 3 passes, ever since then, I think he's had one really good game, and that was against Jacksonville. So, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything more from Mac Jones. I mean, maybe 2 interceptions, I wasn't expecting that, but I was not expecting him to come out here and throw 75%, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. It's not realistic. I was not expecting that to happen. 24 for 38. Oh, you lost me? Jalen lost
Hold
me.
up, I can't hear you, bro.
Gotcha. All right, you good?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what I'm saying is, you look at the stat line, 24 for 38, 232, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. It's not surprising to me. It's I wasn't expecting a superstar level performance out of him.
Mm-hmm. And it goes to show that the offense wasn't getting it done because Buffalo had 29 first downs and New England had 20 first downs. That's basically nine more. Like they had the ball for only about 4 more minutes than New England. I mean, 4 minutes less than Buffalo. But they still weren't getting those first downs because if you ain't getting the first down, that means you ain't getting in the red zone. If you ain't getting in the red zone, you ain't scoring. So that means their offense was just going to poops.
I will
And
say the first interception is a tiny part Mac Jones' fault. You know, it was a ridiculous defensive play, and you know, could he have gotten the ball there with a little less arc? Maybe, sure. I mean, I guess, but one of the best interceptions I've ever seen. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for that one. But I mean, they really stood no chance after first 15 minutes, really. Also, to Patriots fans, let's not pretend like it's some ridiculous feat that Mac Jones managed to get this team to 10-7. You were 7-9 last year with Cam Newton, who's supposed to be such a bum and washed, and you had the most players out due to COVID, and then you spent the most money in the offseason. Do not be surprised at 10-7. You were never in a rebuild. Stop lying to yourselves. Stop lying to your friends. You were never in a rebuild. You picked 15th in the draft. That's not rebuilding. You had one slightly down year where you barely missed the playoffs at 7-9.
barely.
Do not be surprised. The Patriots will be fine, but just stop with the rebuild nonsense. You wanted the rookie quarterback, you got the rookie quarterback, and you got your ass handed to you in the first round of the playoffs.
But you can't be mad at that because
can't.
you got to the first round of the playoffs with the rookie quarterback.
Exactly.
So there is some light for the future. But if your rookie quarterbacks keeps throwing the ball to the other team, unlike Tom Brady never did, you ain't going to the Super Bowl.
He did have a solid rookie season. I gave him my honorable mention for rookie of the year on offense. But you know, I expect him to hold the reins for a very long time in New England. No Tom Brady levels, but I expect good things out of Mac Jones. Do I think the Patriots at some point could win a Super Bowl? Absolutely. Do I think this year they were talented enough to win a Super Bowl? Probably not, but they were pretty damn close. They got studs on each side, but I mean, when your number one DB is getting absolutely burned every play and you're giving up 47, you didn't stop them once. You didn't even hold them to a field goal once. They scored every time. I mean, we could say what we want about Mac Jones turning the ball over twice. Like, I know it's not ideal, but you couldn't stop them once. It's unrealistic to expect your quarterback to score a touchdown every drive if you're New England.
30 more points, dog. 30 more points. Like you gave up 14 in the first quarter, 13 in the second quarter. Off rip, that's just bad.
Yeah.
That's just bad. And then you come into the third quarter, you only get 7, you only give up 6, but then you let them give up 14 in the fourth and only scored 7. So
I like that out of Buffalo though. No sportsmanship. No
yeah, I was gonna
sportsmanship
say they
for
really
the
just
division rival.
actually went in there and fucking went sick. And do they have home throughout the whole playoffs or no?
Buffalo,
No,
no, they're on the road.
yeah.
They're on the road next week against Kansas City. We're going to move to the Kansas City game in a second. But one thing I want to say about Josh Allen, which I heard this over the weekend, and it was pretty funny, so I'm going to share it with everybody. I went to my grandmother's house for her birthday, so happy birthday, Grandma.
Happy belated.
But we went over there, and we were talking about the football game, and she's like, man, that Buffalo quarterback is yeah, I'll tell you exactly what she said. He is something. You know? Bro, it is crazy to watch. Hell yeah, he is, bro. He does whatever he wants out there, and you can't stop it either. You cannot stop him. He's running around, he's scrambling left, right, and just launching that ball.
It's scary how big he is for a quarterback and how mobile he is. Like
if he completes passes at that rate, there's no chance you're stopping them.
No chance.
If Devin Singletary is running over 4 yards a carry, and Josh Allen is completing over 65%, not turning the ball over, they're not losing.
While running too, because they're gonna use that offense.
He is one of the best dual threat. When you look at arm skill and skill of the legs, he might be the best dual threat in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Besides Patrick.
Yeah, well, Patrick doesn't run as much.
Yeah, he doesn't
Patrick
run
scrambles
as much.
a lot,
He's
but
more
he doesn't run as much.
Yeah.
Once you cross, Patrick doesn't cross the line of scrimmage as much as Josh Allen. But now that we brought him up, we're gonna move on. Steelers, Chiefs. Actually, do you want to do Eagles, Bucks? Since technically that was the next game.
It doesn't really matter. We can do it.
All right, we'll do Steelers, Chiefs, full AFC. This is about what we expected, was it not?
Yes, sir. Patty
I,
Mahomes,
yeah.
404 yards, 30 passing completions for 39 attempts, 5 spectacular touchdowns. Travis Kelce, 108 yards, 5 receptions, and 1 touchdown. What can you do? You have you have one of your best players touching the ball 5 times and gaining the 108 yards. What a touchdown! The running back, what is his name? Jordan? Is it Jordan? I
Jarek
don't know.
McKinnon.
McKinnon. Yeah, McKinnon, 12 carries, 61 yards. It's not bad.
They just like spawn players that just ball out randomly. Like I don't
randomly.
remember hearing this dude's name at all in the regular season. I'm
Me
sure he did
either. That's
I'm
why I
sure he
said.
played a little bit and he did his thing a few times, but I mean, they were relying on him a lot this game.
And the thing
Bro, the
is,
regular season he had 12 attempts. He had 12 attempts in this game. That's what I'm saying, bro. The Chiefs just like, oh, okay, Jarek
hey, you
McKinnon's
know
gonna
what's
do it to y'all
crazy?
today.
Fun fact: he also received 81 yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It was ridiculous. He was balling
He had
out.
more yards than Tariq Hill and McCole Hardman. Yo, that's crazy. I've never heard this man's name before in my life, but he got it done. He showed up and showed out. But yeah,
I mean,
as you
dude,
can see,
0-0 after the first quarter. Like, Pittsburgh had their chances.
yeah, and they're gonna give up 21 in the second. That is.
It was brutal watching that first quarter. It was like 6 possessions in a row, 3 and out. If you're Pittsburgh, I know their offense isn't their strong suit, but damn, man, like, you got your chance. You got to show something.
Yeah, Big Ben didn't have the best. He went out guns blazing. 29 for 44, 215 yards, 4.9 average yards per pass, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad game, might have been.
Not a bad game.
I mean,
Um,
Najee's just running to the line every play. He barely
I was
got
gonna
through
say the,
once.
the the problem was the run game. The run game got there was no love.
I will say I did see multiple drops by wide receiver 1 and key drops as well. Deontay definitely had a couple drops that hurt them.
Juju played.
Yes, he did.
Oh, what a bum! He had 26 yards. The man was making TikToks on the sideline. Corvette.
Okay, Jay. All right, reel it in. Reel it in.
Yo, anyways, so yeah, James Washington, Deontay Johnson, they both had touchdowns, but they only didn't. No receiver broke over 50 yards.
Wow.
So that goes to show that not
Short
even
passes.
no receiver broke over 40 yards.
Wow.
The highest of any receiver was James Washington. It was 37 yards, and I was off for 2 receptions, so it was some big plays.
I
And
mean,
then
yeah. I mean, you look at 4.5 yards per pass. Like
yeah,
he had
and
less
then
than
their
10
one
yards per completion too.
the 1 and 2 only had 26 yards and 25 yards. So
Wow.
with
I would
with
call
eight
Deontay the
targets,
number 1 at this point.
huh? You'll call Deontay number one?
Yeah, I mean, with Juju being
Okay.
out, technically, I feel like Juju isn't up there
So
anymore.
yeah, then Deontay he had five receptions, 34 yards, 6.8 a carry. So that means he got first down every time he basically touched the ball too, but there's no passing. There's nothing. There's nothing. Nothing there. Nothing there.
I mean, they had
And
their chance. You look at the first quarter. How many times are you going to see Kansas City not score in the first
in
quarter?
the
And you
first
couldn't
quarter.
score. That's
And
going to cost
and
you the football game.
You like to know
most
your
teams
score.
when I've watched Kansas City play this year, most teams have Kansas City by the have them by the little throat a little bit in that first quarter because like you said, if Kansas City doesn't score in that first quarter, that's concerning.
Yeah.
Kansas City usually scores in that first drive because that's just who they are. But like, and then they went into the second quarter. It was like, yeah, let's give up 21 points, yeah, and then
KC just woke it up. They
and then
just
Casey
woke
woke up, came out third quarter. The third quarter is Kansas City's quarter. I've been a believer in that since they started making these crazy playoff runs and a Super Bowl win. They always play phenomenal in that third quarter.
Yeah, second and
then,
third is really where they make their money.
yeah,
Huh?
that's literally where they put the money on the table. Is second and third quarter. It's where
35 points in those 2 quarters alone.
and then the fourth quarter is that's just like, hey,
It's probably over
let's
by
just,
then.
let's just score something at this point. We just need to score so we don't give up a lead. But that was predictable. That was by far the easiest predicted game.
Yeah. I
'Cause
uh
we,
I do want to say, because we're gonna transition into the Buccaneers and Eagles game. There's a lot of people that are thinking the 2-7 matchup is something that we shouldn't have anymore. I think that's a bad take. I think 2-7. I like this format. It just so happens that two not good teams managed to make it. Like, that's all there is to it. If you had the Chargers in there, it would have been totally a different game. And no disrespect to Pittsburgh, because they won the games that they're supposed to. But if Indy or Los Angeles was in there, it's totally different, and nobody would be complaining about a 2-7 game. It's
No.
just the Steelers and the Eagles beat who they were supposed to beat, and the other teams couldn't win the big game. The Eagles didn't. The Eagles didn't beat a playoff team all year, and they managed to make it. So no one is surprised by the score. 31-15 Bucks Eagles. That's the game we're gonna move on to. But
Oh wait, did we do that? Did we say that's our particular scores for the Steelers Pits?
no,
I mean, it's good.
Jalen had 28-14 Chiefs, and I had 34-14 Chiefs. So sold the Chiefs a little bit short, but still had blowout wins. So not wrong.
Not wrong.
And Jalen did pick the Patriots game wrong, 33-21 Patriots, and I had 17-13 Bills. So definitely sold the Bills short. But we're going to move on. Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. Another game that is not surprising whatsoever. Love Jalen Hurts. Think he's a great dude, but he's really not good at throwing the football.
Yeah.
It hurts me to say that, because I'm a big fan of him, but I mean, some of his throws were just awful.
I mean, 2 interceptions. That was actually a game I actually got to watch, and it's just like one of the interceptions. It was short in the end zone to Devontae Smith, but I'm not gonna lie to you, Devontae Smith could have came back, at least tried to come back to the ball, and the interception wouldn't have been.
But Jay, if you look at that clip, he was open 5 seconds before that, and he didn't see him.
I know that.
Okay.
But as a receiver, sometimes you gotta look out for your quarterback. Not every throw is gonna be perfect, especially when you gotta worry about being sacked every damn time.
Sure.
Because that man was literally getting pressured, and he had to either break out of the pocket or move around or something like that. It's hard. When that up front is dangerous, and their linebackers are disgusting.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had 258 yards. He had 2 interceptions, so that gives them 2 more possessions, and in those 2 more possessions, they're obviously going to execute because.
Yeah. I'll say this about Jalen Hurts' stats. I don't really care about his stats, because they were losing by 28 when he put up all his numbers.
That is true.
Your numbers mean nothing to me. The game's already over. So I'd love to see what his numbers were at halftime. That would be a much more accurate representation of how his game was. I don't know why Devontae Smith was targeted 4 times. Or had 4 receptions. He was not targeted enough in the first half. Because when they started throwing at him in the second half, he was making all the plays. Like, he could be a star, and he's barely getting the ball. And you don't have anybody else to throw to. So I don't know why they weren't going Smith's way in the first half. Because when they went his way to start the second half, it was easy.
It was easy.
It's easy every time.
Nah, yeah, it was So the funny part, this is the funny part about the whole game. Total yards, Philly had 339 and Tampa Bay had 349.
And this is why we don't. This is why we don't look at box scores, everybody.
And this is and obviously the game changer of that game is obviously the turnover. Yeah. They gave up 3 turnovers.
I'm gonna simplify this to the people watching. If you didn't watch this game, the score was 31-15. You might think, okay, it's 2 possessions, whatever. This was an ass kicking, all right? Tampa Bay kicked their ass the whole game. I don't care about the touchdowns that Philadelphia got in garbage time to try to cover the spread and steal people's money at the end of the game. I don't care about the numbers. They couldn't run the ball, they couldn't throw the ball, and they put up a bunch of numbers when Tampa Bay was playing prevent defense to just win the game. Just wind the clock down and win the game. They made their money, and Philadelphia looked like they came close. They didn't. This was a blowout. You ran the ball 7 times with Miles Sanders.
Only 14 first down, too.
Why are you running the ball 7 times with Miles Sanders? The whole entire last few weeks of the NFL season, the regular season, was them realizing that they are a running team, and they run all the time. I already know that Jalen Hurts is somewhat inaccurate. Run the damn ball. 7 rushes in a whole game. Keyshawn Vaughn is running 17 times for Tampa Bay. Who the hell is Keyshawn Vaughn?
Yeah, I don't know. But I might go look that. I'm clicking that boy name right now.
I mean,
It's
Tom versus
5'10".
time. Tom was making it look easy, obviously, but you got Gio Bernard, who hasn't been good in 4 years, running the ball for Tampa Bay, and you got Keyshawn Vaughn running 17 times. I know this was also towards the end of the game, but I'm just saying, Philadelphia had plenty of chances to run the ball, and they couldn't do
Not even-
anything.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm telling you, bro. But I'm telling you, they were trying to. They were trying to do quick series for about the start of the game. The start of the game, they were trying to do quick series, but it was like the linebackers and the linemen, they just played Jalen Hurts so well. Like they contained him, and then every time he went to throw it for pass, the ball either got deflected, a DB was there. It was just the defense was on their ass. Yeah. And then when they tried to run the ball, every time they tried to run the ball, Miles Sanders, he tried to bounce it out. Well, from the 4 times that I've seen him run the ball, he tried to bounce it out. And
yeah, don't say every time because he only ran 7 times.
And you got a fucking linebacker hawking his ass down, and this man can't even get up the field for a yard. So, like, overall, that defense just came to play, and they just literally, like you said, in that last, they scored their.
Yep.
They scored their 15 points. They scored their 15 points in the fourth quarter. So that means
the score was what, Jalen? The score was what? If Tampa Bay scored 0 in the fourth quarter and Philadelphia scored all 15 in the fourth quarter, what was the score going into the fourth quarter?
31-0.
Yeah, thank you.
So straight garbage juice, hot garbage juice. Like, oh man, I pray for that team. I love Jalen Hurts. I'm a big Jalen Hurts guy. I hope he has, I have his name, he has my name. We kind of look alike in some type of way with these thick ass eyebrows, but I hope they figure it out over there because I don't want to see his career not. I will
say about Jalen Hurts, I don't think he is a top half of the NFL quarterback. To be honest, but I don't think after playing like this, he deserves. All right, Philly needs to try to find someone new. I'm not saying he's a franchise guy, but you got, playoff berth in his first full season. So he's doing something right. Yeah, and while they might be primarily a running team, he's a dual threat quarterback. He can run the ball too. You got a really good running back in Miles Sanders, but I'm seeing like maybe Philadelphia needs to move on from Jalen Hurts. I wouldn't say that. He's got plenty of room to improve. It's only his first full season. I don't think Philly was good enough to make the playoffs, but they beat the teams they needed to.
They should have made the playoffs,
They beat the teams they needed to. I like to rag on them because they didn't beat a playoff team, but they beat enough teams to make the playoffs, and that's the goal because any given Sunday, anything could happen.
Anything.
But, it's a tough loss for Philadelphia. I would have liked to see Minnesota in there. I think they got a lot more talent, although they don't play well together. The coach isn't very good, obviously, based on his firing, but, Tom versus time. You know what he does. And
Tom versus time.
I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised at all.
He went in there and he was like, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah, dude was like 10 for 11 on the first 2 drives, just mowing him down. But,
Yeah, 29 for 37, 271 yards, 2 touchdowns. And guess what? Here's the best part about this. Everybody's like, oh, you lost Antonio Brown, you lost Chris Godwin. And guess who decides to show up? Because that's what he does, and that's his job. Mike motherfucking Evans.
The most underrated receiver in the NFL.
Probably, yeah. I think he honestly at this point, I think he might be the most underrated receiver. Besides Keenan Allen.
True.
Besides Keenan Allen. But Mike Evans, I'd say Mike Evans is better than Keenan Allen.
Mike Evans has consistently been the guy for 8 years straight.
Man.
Keenan Allen.
1,000 yards 8 years straight since your inception into the NFL is
ridiculous.
It's crazy considering also he's always been in Tampa Bay. So it's like, has he always been on Tampa Bay?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And we haven't heard anything. Tampa Bay wasn't talked about.
I couldn't tell you I couldn't tell you who was even throwing him the ball before James.
Exactly. Wilson. Tampa Bay wasn't even talked about until Tom Brady decided to sign with them.
And he's been doing this the whole time.
He's been doing this the whole time.
The whole time.
This is nothing new.
Yeah.
This man had a touchdown, 117 yards, 9 receptions. If my receiver gives me that every game, I ain't complaining.
Mr. Reliable. Like, that's all he is. Every year, you know what you're getting out of him. It might not
And
be
it's like
flashy, but he's going to get that
he's
football.
getting it done. Yeah, he's getting, and that's what matters the most. You know? Oh man, that
I
makes me
totally
happy.
agree with you about Keenan Allen. I just think that Mike Evans has been doing this a
No,
couple more years
no,
than Keenan
I
Allen.
would
I
say
totally
Mike
agree
Evans
though.
is a better receiver. Yeah, I would say Mike Evans, but Keenan Allen.
I've been saying this for years about Mike Evans. Although Mike Evans does have those stinkers in the regular season every once in a while, but I mean, 1,000 yards in 8 straight years. That speaks for itself, in my
Well,
opinion.
no, well, see, the thing is, he barely over got 1,000 this year. He got 35 yards over 1,000, but he still got it though.
Yeah,
But anyways, but he was second in touchdowns though,
really.
14,
Wow.
and he was tied 29th for 74 receptions. So it's like, hey,
Makes the most out of
anytime
it.
we in the, and it's yeah, anytime we in the red zone,
Oh yeah,
you in there,
he
you
owns
in
the
there.
red zone. He's so much
You-
bigger than DBs. They just throw a
Yeah,
fade
I
to
know.
him. He's
I was
got it.
about to say 6'5", 231.
Yeah, huge.
That boy is big. But
We're all right, Jay.
well,
I'm gonna stop us there because
yeah, we
something
are
tells
running.
me that I'm gonna be talking about the Bucks a little bit
Yeah.
more next week too. You know, but I do want to move on and say, how about them Cowboys? All right, so I'm gonna do this segment on my own because Jalen wouldn't be able to get through a couple sentences without breaking down into tears, ladies and gentlemen. So this is all me here. You know, the Cowboys franchise. Okay, sorry.
Listen. You know what his plan was? Because it wasn't a bad plan. He just tried to be greedy and try to get extra yards. He should have just ran for the first down, got the hike. We would have been at the 26, 27 instead of he tried to go to the 20. For what?
Oh, it's
For
not.
what?
It was definitely not a bad play call. It was just a tough decision by Dak. But
And it's like it was tunnel vision. That boy was trying to score. Him giving the ball to the lineman instead of giving it to the ref.
Yeah.
That was obviously the biggest mistake out of the whole thing. Yeah. They probably would have been able to hike it with probably a second left.
You could have got another play. I mean, it's gonna take a miracle anyway with 40 seconds to go down the field, but
yeah,
they had a chance.
But I mean, bro, they were moving though. Yeah. They were moving. The best part of I'm not saying it's the best part, but the whole part about it was half of San Fran's defense is on the sideline because they were getting hurt throughout the game. Yeah. So in that last 40 seconds, they were in and out, get in it. And then when I seen him run, I was like, this is game right here because he ran what do you need? Why are you running 10 yards for 14 seconds? You're not that fast.
He ran 20, I think. He ran more than that. He was.
Yeah, he did. It was a huge run.
I'll see if I can get the play-by-play.
Because I think you were at the 40 and he ran to almost the 20-yard line.
Dak. Oh my God, I'm hearing things. Dak Prescott runs up the middle for 17 yards.
Oh, 17.
Yeah.
All right. He didn't need to do that. No. All he had to do was run for 10. It was only second and third, I think it was.
He had plenty. I know that.
He needed a first down, but he was tunnel vision. He shouldn't have given the ball to the lineman. The referee came in, hit them because they were just obviously so much commotion was going on. Yeah. And I knew everybody was like, oh my gosh, you're going to have to review that. No, you're not reviewing nothing. The clock was clearly hiked when the clock was literally 2-3 seconds after the clock hit 0. Yeah. The ball was hiked. Game was over. Although, like you said, you said it so many times throughout the games. They're never gonna win a playoff game if they're gonna keep shooting themselves in the foot in these big games with these goddamn penalties.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's at this point, and the defense is we say we're good defense, but you let mediocre. I'm not the type of person to be the type of person, but a mediocre Jimmy Garoppolo who wants to be Tom Brady so bad. Put points up on the board easily. And the thing is, it wasn't even just him. But it's just
Eli Mitchell running all over you.
It's just
Debo running all over you.
Somebody got to do something.
Trayvon getting absolutely dusted by Ayuk.
Yeah, no, he was. That's the problem. His ass. They talking about 11 interceptions. Yeah, 11 interceptions. You giving up over 1,000 yards in coverage.
Whoa. I'm pretty sure it was 990. Relax. Listen, the thing that gets me upset about San Fran, though, is that Jimmy Garoppolo is not that good at quarterback.
Bro, 172 yards.
He tried so hard to give that
Jamar
game
Chase
away.
Had twice the many yards receiving.
Bro,
2 weeks ago.
There were 2 plays. Jimmy had Brandon Ayuk wide open for a first down. totally missed them. And then the interception, which was yards away from who he was throwing to. He tried to throw that game away. He was really close to doing it. And Jimmy Garoppolo is the epitome of a C- player. Just enough to get by every single time. He does just enough.
Really
Almost costs, but he does just enough. Which I tweeted, is Jimmy going to throw this game again by missing open receivers? Which, if you remember, he did in the Super Bowl because he had a wide open receiver that would have put the Super Bowl away, made it 27-10, and he missed them, and they ended up losing that game. This was very eerily similar to that. But I do want to shift over to Dallas because a lot of people are going to point to Dak Prescott.
There's a lot that could be said.
What happened?
You're good. You're good.
A lot of people are going to point to Dak Prescott and see 23 for 43 with 254, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and say he played a poor game. I disagree. I don't think Dak Prescott played a poor game.
He was sacked five times.
I know he's going to be the person that we look at and we throw the spears at because the Cowboys lost again. You got to look at the quarterback, and he's the one that's going to be catching all the strays. If you really watch that football game, I don't think Dak Prescott played poorly. His numbers don't back up what I'm saying, but there were multiple offensive penalties on completions. I know CeeDee Lamb had at least 2 receptions that were brought back. Both of them for 10-plus yards. But I'm watching the game, and there's nothing in my head where I'm like, Dak's playing poorly. And then they show his stats, and it's like 10 for 21. And I'm like, oh, damn. I didn't know he's under 50%. I had no idea. But if you watch the game, it looks nothing like that. It doesn't look like he's having a poor game. I will say, though, oh, my God. I will say, though, Zeke, I think it might be your time. I think it might be time to go.
You think so?
I think so.
You think it's time to go?
Listen, Jay, something's got to go.
I don't know what it is about, man. That man, he got that feed me tattoo, and ever since then, that man has not ran the ball over 5 yards of carry.
12 carries for 31 yards. I mean, bro, he's running into the line and falling down.
Literally every time. There's no effort. No effort. And it's like, I can't say there's no effort, but, But still, like, that defensive line, I feel like he really can't play well against good defensive lines and linebackers because they put the pressure on him really quick, and I don't think he's making those quick cuts and all those he's not reading those plays that he should be. He doesn't hit. I don't think he hits the hole like Tony Pollard. I think every time he sees a hole, he hits it as hard as he can.
It's more explosive at this point in the career.
I see when Ezekiel Elliott sees a hole, he's like, should I hit it? Oh, I should hit it, and he gets sacked. And will not get sacked.
Yeah, he's down.
And he's down. But like you said, 12 carries, 31 yards, 2.6 yards a carry. His longest run, not even worth the first down.
Oh man.
Not even worth the first down. And then it's like that's so disgusting. And our receiving wasn't bad. Dalton Schultz, 89 yards, 7 receptions. Amari Cooper, 64 yards, 6 receptions. And CD had a bad game.
I don't think
CD
he
wasn't.
did.
Actually, you're right.
Multiple
receptions. Say a bad game because he did have the flags. You're right. I
saw him do this at least 3 times, and they were called back. I saw it at least 3 times, and they called half of them back.
It
was 100% at least 2. But like you said, I tweeted this out. 14 penalties for 89 yards. We've known this all year. And Cowboys fans complain about the refs. If the refs are such a problem, how about you stop committing penalties? Like, it is blatant, the penalties. There was a point where I literally had to laugh out loud. Jay, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a point where I literally laughed out loud because I've been seeing all the Cowboys fans like, these refs are throwing flags on every play, complaining about the amount of flags they're getting. And then they call illegal hands to the face on a Cowboys player. And the whole crowd is, they groan like it's Full House. And then they show the replay. The dude literally grabs his face mask, lifts his helmet off of his head. I laughed out loud. I'm like, this team might be one of the dumbest, least disciplined football teams I've ever seen. There's so much talent on this team, and you're giving plays away. You're giving away 89 yards. You're giving away damn near a whole football field in penalties.
A whole football field.
14
What's
penalties.
essential to a touchdown? Because at that point, you're already in the red zone. Touchdown. Oh, man.
So
I
I'll
don't
be
know,
the one to
man.
say it. Something on the team has to change.
I don't know,
Trayvon
man.
is burnt toast. Trayvon is the Jameis Winston of corners. Your interceptions are great, but you're also
Yeah,
getting
that's
burned
literally the
game.
greatest comparison, truthfully. That's a
Right?
great comparison. That's a great comparison.
I know Micah's a star. Unfortunately, he had COVID, so he's a little short of breath. He didn't actively have COVID. He had it earlier in the week, and he was cleared. But just put that out there. But it's unfortunate, man. It's disappointing, but I can't say it's surprising. We know San Francisco has pedigree in the playoffs. I will never trust Jimmy Garoppolo as my head quarterback.
Bro,
but,
never. Literally didn't even throw a touchdown, bro. Had more interceptions than touchdowns, and he still won that game.
Deebo Samuel just might be one of the most dynamic players in football, up there with Cordell Patterson. But I mean,
yeah, that's hard, bro. I was just looking at the receiving. I'm like, damn, he only had 38 receiving. Then I looked up at rushing.
72 rushing yards.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
He was eating in a different part of the field, in the backfield.
Yeah, every play I feel like, and he almost made the play to win the game on the third down out of the backfield where he ran for about 10. And San Fran ended up getting the first down after that, I believe. But another year, another disappointment for the Cowboys. I would love to sit up here and just rag on them, but
it's just the same controversial. Well, honestly, that's not even that situation wasn't even controversial. That was just a straight up, you just lost that game. That's it. There's nothing else to talk about. Because like that last play decision by Dak, that wasn't the best one. I don't know what he was thinking. I know what he was thinking, but it wasn't executed at the level he was thinking of that, I guess.
Right.
So, but another disappointing year. I can't really say it was disappointing because honestly, the only teams we really beat were mediocre teams.
Sure.
So, and it's just like, hopefully next year we get it done. Hopefully our defense, our DVs can get it. Our DVs cannot let up so many yards. Maybe our running backs, Ezekiel Elliott maybe gets a lead.
I think it's time to look for a new one, Jay. Or let Tony Pollard take the reins, because I think Zeke is past the prime at this point of his career.
Yeah.
I also do want to say, as my last point, and I'll give it back to Jay if he wants to say anything more, but I do want to say to Cowboys fans, if you're disappointed about that loss and you're like, oh man, so close, and you're really down about it, I just want you to think of it this way. If Fred Warner and Nick Bosa played the whole game, you wouldn't have even been close. So don't worry about it. All right? It's fine. Don't even trip, all right?
That's a fact, though. I'm not going to hold you. That's the only reason why we're moving that fucking ball.
Don't even worry about it.
Oh, man. But I don't got nothing else to say, man. I tell myself I'm no longer sports. I tweeted that. But I still like basketball, though, so don't take me up on that.
Oh, yeah. We'll have plenty of basketball talk coming soon.
As a football, I'm over it.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the last game, which happened last night, which actually was 2 days ago if you're watching this. But Cardinals at Rams. Jay, I know I talked about this before, but I said I wasn't gonna trust the first-year quarterback. And if you look at the first-year quarterbacks in the playoffs, the two biggest blowouts happened to first-year quarterbacks, Mac Jones and Kyler Murray. First year in the playoffs, I should specify. First time making the playoffs, Mac Jones and Kyler, they got smacked. Joe Burrow, obviously different story, but
it's Joey franchise. Baby.
Joe Burrow's been in the big game in every level.
He's been disrespected his whole career.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this was a game that no one was expecting, but me personally, I kind of was expecting. Not gonna lie to you. I said I thought the Rams were gonna beat up on them. I didn't think Kyler Murray was gonna go 19 for 34 with 137 yards and 2 interceptions. No, I did not think
Kyler,
that.
Man.
You can't say he was only sacked twice. So it's like defense wasn't really in the backfield. He just wasn't completing anything.
He ain't ready for prime time.
Yeah, you did say that. You said he wasn't ready for prime time. So it was like, towards the end, their defense definitely started to get bumped up. A couple things happened, but overall, I think Los Angeles just came in foot on the neck and was just like, "Ball, man, we got to get it done." And Matthew Stafford he got so many years on his belt. I believe he's a Super winning quarterback. I believe that offense is a Super Bowl winning offense, and so forth for the defense.
Yeah, I think it's a
But
really solid offense. I mean, Sony Michel, I don't even know why the Patriots let him go. I thought he was a
yeah,
solid running back.
it still doesn't process
And
me because
and now you
I
got
think
Cam
that's when he
Akers
had his
back
breakout
too.
year. Yeah, that's when he had his breakout year.
Yeah,
Was
that's
Sonny
what.
Michel
I
was
mean, coming out of
uh,
college, he was a part of probably the best running back
he was the
room
running back
in
duo. Yeah, that was
Todd
Georgia.
Gurley,
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, and Sony Michel at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
He might have been the
Yep.
worst of the three, but he was still a damn good running back. And I don't know why New England let him go, but he's out here. He's balling for Los Angeles. This is one of the better offenses in the playoffs, and they ran that damn ball
Yes,
30,
a lot.
30 times with their two main running backs. Akers 17 times and
Came back
13
too.
for Sony Michel. Yeah, shout out to Cam Akers, dude. Tore his Achilles in the preseason and is back for the playoffs. That's
Crazy,
unheard of.
crazy.
That's some John Cena shit.
Achilles, dog.
That is John
That
Cena right there.
is some John Cena shit. The Achilles, like literally the Achilles. Shit is unbelievable.
That's
But
ridiculous.
like, yeah, he had 17 carries, 55 yards, and bro, come on, like you,
He
that's
was he
amazing, right
was
there.
getting stuffed a lot, I'm not gonna lie. But I mean,
Yeah, no, he was.
they ran the
But
hell out of
I
that
mean, they got a
ball.
good defensive front, so
And
it
Stafford
was
was completing damn near every pass, 13 for 17, 200 plus yards, 2 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp is clearly a superstar wide receiver, which we've seen this year. And I could have sworn Odell was washed. I don't really know what happened to that. I don't know. I was told he was washed, and that all of a sudden he's got a competent quarterback. Never mind. It's not important right now. But Tyler Higbee's a solid tight end. Odell Beckham as a number 2 is really good. Van Jefferson's a solid number 3, and Cooper Kupp is established as a number 1. You got a really good running back core. Your 2 running backs are solid running backs. This was like a Cam Akers breakout year, everyone thought, before he tore his Achilles. And Sony Michel I would say he was a great running back in New England, but he was a damn good running back in New England. And they got him
I believe
somehow.
he gets the job done.
He does. But unfortunate for Arizona, they just got outclassed everywhere.
Yeah,
Kyler was making bad decisions.
bro,
He was running for his life. He was shook. He was shook. That's all it comes down to.
dog was in the end zone. Was like, where'd he go? Oh
It was
shit, he just
completely his fault
scored.
too.
Oh shit, he just scored.
Like his running back knocked down the same guy that ended up hitting him. Like Edmonds literally hit the guy and knocked him to his all fours, and then he got up and hit Kyler. Kyler has to get rid of the football. Like that's completely on him. The running back did his job. He gave him time.
Honestly, and at that point, I would have took him
You gotta take a safety
intentional
almost.
grounding, and
Yeah.
I would take safety or intentional
Well,
grounding
intentional
instead of.
grounding, he was in the end zone, so it would have ended up being a safety anyway.
Oh, okay.
But I
That's
mean,
it.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I never knew that.
I mean, he still could have got out of the pocket. I mean, at
Yeah,
some point you got to get rid of the ball.
yeah.
But both of the interceptions were just bad interceptions. I mean, it was just a bad performance out of Kyler. Arizona hasn't looked like the team they looked like ever since he got hurt, and that's super unfortunate because they were undefeated, and then they lost the game where he got hurt. He did end up playing the rest of the game, and they should have won if AJ Green just ran the damn route correctly. But ever since he came back from injury, they have not been the same team. It's unfortunate, but LA was just better all around this week.
They came to play.
Arizona barely even ran the ball. I mean, they didn't score till the second half, man. Like this wasn't a contest. It really wasn't.
Oh my gosh, what's good with my mic? I'm sorry.
LA looks like a Super Bowl contender, man. I picked in the preseason Bills to play the Rams, and they might be the teams that look the best so far. I mean, the Rams beat a team better than the Bucks beat. I'll put it that way, and they beat them just as handily. So, I'm excited to see what the Rams can do going forward. I mean, I'd love to see Matthew Stafford get a ring because that man has been through some shit.
Hey, this is OBJ's year, so I got all faith. Man, went
all money in for OBJ.
All money in, bro. I'd put the house on the Rams right now. I'm not even lying to you. Just the fact that they got that juice right now, and I think the offense is only getting better.
Oh yeah, they're hot. They're hot. And Arizona has a really good defense. So the fact that Stafford was completing at 13 out of 17 with no interceptions and only got sacked once, that's impressive. But For the predictions for these games, Jalen had the Bucks beating the Eagles 40-14. I had 33-14. Jalen had the Cowboys winning 29-14. I had the Cowboys winning 23-20. And Jalen had the Rams winning 28-21. I had the Rams winning 28-17. So we got them both. We got 2 out of 3. We both picked the Cowboys incorrectly. I thought I was really close to picking the Cowboys exactly because if you remember, I said Greg Zuerlein was going to kick a game-winning field goal in overtime, and it was 10-0 or it was 10-7 or something like that. And I was like, hey, it's getting kind of close. Like, you do the math on that, like it could be 2020 going into overtime. But hey man, it was a hell of a first week. I would have liked to see some closer games, but a lot of people delivered, and I'm really excited to see this second round. We got some really good matchups that I'm excited for.
Really good matchups.
I will say I'm definitely excited most for the Bills Chiefs. But next week we got Bengals Titans to kick it off. 49ers Packers.
That's the game I'm excited for because I truly believe whoever wins that game is
Which game? Bengals Titans?
Bengals Titans.
Okay. It should be interesting. We got Rams Bucks on Sunday and Bills Chiefs to end the night. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be
Those
a good
are
week.
amazing games.
And we're gonna be back to talk about them once they're done. So Jay, if you want to take us home.
All right, man. Thank you. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I wanna low key give a little prediction for Sunday since we're not gonna be shooting something real quick.
Okay.
So I got Bengals over Titans. I got what's it called? I got Chiefs. Oh, Chiefs over Bills. I got Chiefs over Bills. Only the fact that Chiefs has done this before. They I feel like they've been here before. They know how to get this done. Bills. I think is this the first time they've made it to the what is it technically the first round?
They were in the championship. They were in the AFC Championship last year.
Okay. Last year. Okay. Then never mind. Then I'm not good on my history, but like I still got Chiefs though, and obviously I got Rams. Taking the Rams all the way. I'm a Rams. And then who's Green Bay facing? San Francisco. Yeah, that's Green Bay. I got Green Bay all day with that.
Right. I'm gonna go Titans. I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna go Titans Bills, and I'm gonna also go Rams Packers. So I'll agree with you in the NFC, and I'll go opposite in the AFC. That's what I'm looking for.
Bet.
Based on what I've seen last week, that's what I'm giving you. And also based on last year because the Bills lost to the Chiefs in the championship, so I'm a little excited. That could be a revenge game for them.
Word. Nah, definitely. That's good. Yo, I'm excited. This is gonna be some good games. I'm just excited because like the Super Bowl, it's so unpredictable right now.
We don't know 100%.
We don't know who's gonna get there.
We say that, and then the Bucks end up just winning it again. But
let me take the glasses out. Oh, I'm gonna get a headache. But yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Much love, much appreciated. Y'all have a blessed night, blessed day whenever y'all do decide to watch this. And yeah, tap in with us soon.
Hey, good luck to y'all team, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Thank you so much for watching.